Hello, welcome along. This is episode 96 of Adventures in Pop. My name is still Simon Jacobs. I'm furious. Look, yeah, you're looking fine. You're looking well. I'm glad you can make it. No, I'm really furious. I'm going to have to talk today about, well, it's a subject I don't really like covering. I didn't really want to have to talk about this, but I have been so let down by a promotion service, and we need to talk about the legitimacy of promotion services for Spotify. That I'm basically, I just need to tell you how useless they are, and I'm going to name names and share with you a little bit of correspondence. So buckle up. Hopefully, this will make me feel better. You'll feel worse, but I'll feel better. But Spotify, oh my goodness, I wish you would just get off your big backside and legislate against these, warn us who not to use. So this is a bit of a sad story, and I don't like doing this, I actually threatened this organisation that I would come on here and tell you about how terrible they are and warn you not to use them. And now I'm kind of forced into having to do that, which is, a bit sad. But they have been spectacularly terrible. So here's the story. This is what's happened to me, and I wonder if it's happened to you. And it's very hard to navigate your way through picking, a legit company to kind of help you, because you only find out if they're not legit once you've paid them some money, and then getting anything out of them, either delivery of the service you have bought or a refund, appears to be very, very difficult indeed. So look, before we go any further, do subscribe and follow and all those things, because look, I'm already in a bad mood, so it might help. It might help me. Okay, thank you. I mean, it's not your fault. This is what happened. Okay, so just over a week ago, I released my single for the kids. I made a nice video, and the video's now out and running. Week before last, as we approached the Friday of the release, video, an adventures episode for you guys. Now look, what I normally do is on that Friday, and I do it as quickly as I can, I will probably, for every single release, whether it's Simon Jacobs or Goldthorpe Foxes, Rothman and Jacobs, I am prepared always, I think, to spend a small amount of money, and it has to be a small amount of money because I'm doing it really regularly, so I can't, be real. And I've got to do it really carefully because there are a lot of organisations out there who I think are really seriously not legitimate. Okay, so what am I looking for when I talk about legit? Well, the first thing is you want to get a promotion company, alongside you, that is not going to piss off Spotify because you're using, bots. You're using a kind of, computerized system thing to pretend that it's listening to your music. There are several reasons why you don't want to do this. One is, what is the point of paying for a computer to pretend it's listening to your music? I mean, if you know and the computer knows, who you're fooling. I just don't go down that road. And anyway, if Spotify kind of realise, if they see strange activity, they have been known to act on that. They've been known to, throw artists off Spotify, which is quite drastic. But they can take action, and really they've got every right to, haven't they? If you're sort of trying to cheat the system, then I guess, you get what you deserve, actually. But there are also some very legit promotion companies, and their job is to try and get your music played to curators of playlists who then might be interested in putting your music on their playlist. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's a really good way to go. Sometimes it can take a bit of time, but it's the sensible kind of right approach. And some people like it, some people don't like it, and sometimes it goes on playlists. And I know that the songs of mine that have done best over the years are ones that get stuck onto a nice playlist, and then for whatever reason, possibly, maybe the playlist curator goes to sleep, but it stays on that playlist for ages and ages, and it just ticks over. And the more it ticks over, it kind of pushes itself forward. And when people are new to coming to look at your channel, they might look down the number of streams that different songs have got and just play a few, like the ones that have got the most streams. So the ones that get the most streams carry on getting the most streams. Does that make sense? Possibly not. Okay, park that. The problem, though, is all of these promotion companies, they will talk a good talk, and you're kind of reading through them, trying with your, with all the experience that you can muster, with all your best gut instinct, you're trying to work out if they're telling the truth, not telling the truth. I tend to start often, if I don't know the company, I start often with a small order of something just to see what happens. Because here's the other thing, if they just produce all of your plays, you want some Spotify plays, and if they produce all of your plays like that, they just sort of dump them on you. That's not very organic and real, is it? That is somebody pressing a button in the bot factory, and it's horrible, and it feels wrong, and it is. And that's happened on a very small scale. It has happened to me a few times. Just don't tell anyone, because it doesn't make me feel good. So the way I try and start out with these things is I go to Google, and I will request from Google, and I will normally ask a question like, what are the best promotional services in 2023 for Spotify, and I just go through the responses that are not at the top, not the advertised paid for responses. And I'm also very wary of the fact that quite often one of these promotion services will write an article as if they're a dispassionate, neutral, kind of with no conflict of interest at all. They will write an article, and they will put their promotion service at the top, and then have another 9, so they can go out there with a nice top 10. So watch out for that as well. What I'd like is for Spotify, who are very hot on coming down on artists who get this wrong. I think what they should be doing is warning us about the right way and the wrong ways to promote our music, because there's nothing wrong with promoting music. I mean, Google do promotion. You can promote through Facebook and Google, etc., etc. It costs quite a lot. It seems to be an incredibly complicated process. It's not my favourite subject, but it's entirely possible. It's entirely appropriate if you want to do that. I'm not spending loads of money. I just want to find some honest companies who do what they say, and who are really playing the song to some real people who put it on a playlist, who really listen, and who might really like it. Anyway, so here's the thing. So in this particular case, For the Kids comes out on Friday, I chose a company called Streaming Famous, streamingfamous.com. So what I'm saying to you right now is, if you've got a small amount of money, then you want to promote your new single on Spotify, and I think they do a few other services as well, don't use Streaming Famous. Sorry about that, but basically they have taken my money. They have written me some rather strange passive-aggressive emails in response to my emails, and there's no sign at all. Here we are on day 10 since For the Kids was released. There's no sign at all of them actually delivering on the promise of promoting this track. So what's gone on? Let's have a look at the sad email trail. Shall we just do that? I won't read you every word of every email. I mean, you know, life's too short for that. So we start out with like to let you know that your order has just been started. You should be see the results of your campaign. Bloody bloody blah. Great. That's on day one. A couple of days go by. Let's have a look. So by day 3, I'm saying I paid 3 days ago. I've seen no progress at all. I've so far received 8 streams. This is day 3. Can you confirm with me, please, when the promotion I've paid for will start? This track is very important to me. I just want to say, momentum is important. This is part of a campaign, and you've got another one coming along soon. You want each of these tracks to have its moment to shine, and this is a waste of time and money. Okay. I wrote to somebody called Sebastian at Streaming Famous in the first place, and I got a note back from someone called Sarah. So on the 30th of January, Sarah writes back. She says, hello, we're currently doing some maintenance and the orders are paused. We should be back in 48 hours and all orders will be resumed by then. Very sorry for the inconvenience. Regards. So I think, oh, okay, nuisance, but it's not the end of the world. Now, I think if the website, if this organisation is doing some maintenance, whatever that means, and orders are paused, they should warn you of that on their website so that you have appropriately managed expectations when you pay them the money. There is no mention of that on Streaming Famous website. Okay, so I think that's dishonest. A few more days went by. Hello, Sarah. I think this is now a serious problem. This is me. I have paid blah, blah, blah for a service and received absolutely nothing. This is more than an inconvenience. It starts to undo the work I've been putting in to build momentum with each release. Can you please refund me or give me some certainty around when this promotion will start? That's fair, isn't it? You could either do this or please do this. And I've been waiting. Thank you, Simon. Always polite. And the response I got, a fabulously kind of passive-aggressive response back from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. I'm going to show it to you here. We will only start promotions once maintenance is over. Yes, I know, but my question was, when will that be? I mean, really. We will only start promotions once maintenance is over. Regards, Sarah. Huh? That isn't really what I was asking, is it? I know you can only start once you've done that, but I want to know when you're going to have done that. Anyway, then I wrote a much longer note, but this was several days later. You assured me that the maintenance would last 48 hours. That was over 4 days ago. That's more than 48 hours, isn't it? We're now on day 8, and not a single stream has been delivered for the considerable sum of blah-de-blah. Wet, medium sum. If I'd known that this delay would happen, I would have obviously taken my money elsewhere. Nowhere on your website have you warned people that you're unable to deliver on your promise. I asked for either a refund or some certainty about when this promotion would start, but your passive-aggressive response provided neither. Now, I'm not being passive-aggressive. I'm just being cross in a quite honest way. Passive-aggressive is that kind of, we'll only do this when we do it. That's the passive-aggressive. Anyway, who cares? I have a long-running video podcast series about being an independent musician that broadcasts to between 5,000 and 20,000 people each week. True. That's what I'm doing now. You're one of those. By the way, thank you. And I've also got thousands of followers across different social media platforms. I very rarely feel the need to do this. I think I've done this once before in my whole life. But in this case, I'm beginning to feel that I have a duty to warn others not to spend their hard-earned money with you. Please refund me or start the promotion in the next 24 hours, or I will have to dedicate my next episode entirely to discussing Streaming Famous. Guess what I'm doing? Guess what they did? Nothing. I look forward to hearing from you. The response I got back from that was, hello, unfortunately we had to pause all orders while we fix some issues. Some grammar issues there, I think, Sarah. We're working hard to resume all orders as soon as possible. Regards. So this is days and days after, she first said, actually, it might be 48 hours. So I went back and said, thank you, but can you please give me an indication of when this promotion will start? If you don't want to discuss a refund, the least you can do is give me an honest and accurate answer. This is doing some damage to the campaign I was trying to mount. So how long will it take from now to beginning delivering the service you promised? Simon. That was 2 days ago. No answer at all. I have, in the last hour or so, written, we're now on day 10, and you have still delivered nothing. Please refund me immediately because I can't wait any longer, and I'd now like to take my order elsewhere. This is all very distressing. As I mentioned several days ago, I intend to speak out on all my available platforms to my followers, bless, about your appalling and dishonest service. I have a duty to warn others not to come anywhere near you. And I think, although that sounds extremely pompous, I think it's true. Please don't use Streaming Famous. They don't deserve your money. They won't provide you a decent service. They won't refund you. They've got a page on their website about giving refunds. That's obviously nonsense. They won't always answer your emails, and if there's some problems on their site, they won't tell you that until you've paid the money. So I think that's dishonest. In fact, I think that's criminal. So don't use them. And thank you, Sarah and Sebastian from Streaming Famous. I think your service is terrible. There we go. It's a shame, isn't it? The trouble is, I have come across a few like this before. This is a particularly bad example because of the way they talk to their customers. But there are a few that I just think are totally cowboy outfits, and unfortunately, you don't know until it's kind of too late and you've already paid them some money. So what I think is, yes, obviously I think Spotify should be much, much clearer about what they recommend and what they don't recommend. The other thing I'll just say to you is when you are in this position and you are maybe wanting to use a promotion company, just go small to begin with. Just check them out by buying whatever's the cheapest blooming service they can. And if they say to you, they can give you 5,000 streams or 10,000. I mean, that also is a bother, isn't it? It's a worry because they should not be able to predict with that kind of certainty what your stream number is going to be. So that is also a red flag. It's obvious, isn't it? I'm going to be back in a couple of days' time I'll be back in a much better mood. I'll be really nice, I promise, next time. And we're going to talk about a new Gold Talk Foxes thing at the end of this week, and the song is going to be called "Doing Without Me," and it's really good. So that will be much more cheery. Thank you for just being my friend and seeing me through this difficult moment. And don't ever use Streaming Famous. Ta-ra.